What in the hoity-toity pot of gold is going on here?
Oh yeah, and we all look nothing alike either.
How in space does this clone trooper have an Irish accent? Why would you do this? What's the point? Why would you make me ponder this ridiculousness? Accents in Star Wars have always been a sort of unspoken but mostly intuitive phenomenon, with the different accents sort of representing the different cultures in the galaxy. The first and most obvious example of this are the Imperials, who are almost always depicted with posh British accents. This is a subtle nod to the fact that they are evil, but it also matches the very orderly and proper way the Empire is run. Troops in a row, uniforms pressed to perfection, the trains run on time. This applies not only to Imperials, but also those who spend the majority of their time in Imperial culture. Think about Mon Mothma, or the way Leia puts on a British accent when attempting to maintain her cover as an innocent and insolent inconvenient senator, and how that accent disappears as soon as her bluff is called. Now, the rebels and rogues in this galaxy are messy and irreverent and use whatever means to achieve their ends, so obviously they mostly have American accents. All the different alien races like Toydarians, Gungans, and Nemoidians all have completely fictitious accents. And then we have the clones. For the clones, they all had the same Kiwi accent as Jango, which doesn't really make sense since accents aren't genetic, but we all kind of ignored that because whatever, same actor, same voice. If you wanted to be overly generous, you could infer that when trying to clone someone, part of the process might be to take recordings of that person's voice so that you can use it to teach the clone how to speak like the original, which would be useful if you were trying to make a clone to replace the original. Either way though, intuitively, all the clones having the same accent just kind of slotted in as sure, whatever, that makes sense. But now you've introduced a new variable, a clone trooper with an Irish accent. How did this happen? Out of all the 1.2 million clones, how did this one end up magically delicious? Did someone accidentally drop a potato in his uterus pod? Or accidentally mix Jango's DNA with DOD's? No, of course not, because again, your accent isn't genetic. It's influenced by where you grew up and the people around you, but there's only one single type of person around him, and they all have the same accent. This is just such a strange decision, and I genuinely can't think of a reason why Dave would allow this other than this is the funny clone who makes the jokes? Maybe Dave just thinks Irish accents are silly? Isn't that kind of racist?